Brandy says, Adam, great reaction, bro. Thanks, Brandy. Appreciate that. Please react to Boatlift 9/11, the story of an American Brazilians. You won't be sorry. On a dark day, people got together and did what had to be done. Much love from Texas. Brandy, thank you for the comment. I appreciate it. So many comments have mentioned this Boatlift 9/11, and I think it was to do with some sort of evacuation they done. So that's what we're doing today, ladies and gentlemen. Recently, over the past couple of days, you guys have been leaving so many nice comments. I appreciate it a lot. And there's so many new subscribers in this channel. It's kind of mind-blowing. I don't know why, but thank you. I appreciate it a lot. I'm very interested to see what this is going to be about. I got some cold water. I'm about to hydrate, and we're about to react. Hero is a man who does what he can. Jesus.
I thought I was watching a movie. Towering Inferno at first.
Me too.
And then I looked real close, and I noticed it was the World Trade Center. I was compelled because I'm a type of person that can't stand by and watch other people suffer. And to me, they were suffering. They wanted to get off the island. And there was no way for them to get off the island other than the water. And I had noticed when I was watching the television.
I'm sorry. Is he talking about Manhattan? Is that how, like, did the island of Manhattan get badly affected too? Because it's an island and there was like thick smoke?
You know, the ferries going up into the slips and taking people off. I said, fine, we could do the same thing. I could take people on my boat, get in there, take them where they have to go. And that's what we did.
On the morning of September 11th, when the towers came down, millions of people ran for safety.
Who is that speaking?
Hundreds of thousands of them ran south to the water's edge. That's when they realized that Manhattan is indeed an island.
Who's narrating this? Why do I recognize his voice from somewhere? I know as soon as you guys tell me who this is, I'm going to be like, I should have known that. That is one of these things that annoys me, you know, when you don't know something.
That they were trapped.
They were feeling helpless. And that's the worst feeling in the world. What was a person on the ground going to do? Buildings were down. There were people laying under the rubble of the building. Firemen, civilians. My wife was there, and I turned around. I says, I've got to go do something. Just like that. And she looked at me. She says, what are you going to do, you maniac? I says, I'm going to take the amberjack up into the city and help. She says, but what if they're attacked again? I says, well, then that's something I have to live with. I says, I have to do what I have to do. I says, and nobody can stop me right now. Even if I save one person or I rescue one person, that's one person less that will suffer and die.
What a guy. What a guy. Was this his boat?
They were trying to evacuate Manhattan because nobody knew what was going on. You know, you didn't know if something else was going to happen. It was just, you know, a madness on one side and, you know, people on the other side.
In case they attack Statue of Liberty.
Out of the buildings, and the first mode of transportation they saw was a ferry boat. And that's when they knew, this is how I'm getting out of here. So they didn't even care where the boat was going.
There wasn't panic in New York in the beginning, just volume. So it wasn't until the first building fell that there was panic.
Fuck.
You heard the building go down, but we're in the slip, so we can't see it. That's
Makes
when
me
we
feel
started
sick.
letting go, and then all of a sudden, engulfed. You couldn't see anything.
People were actually jumping into the river and swimming out of Manhattan. Boats were very nearly running them over.
Wait. These people wanted out of Manhattan no matter any way they could.
Somebody wants you to go over there.
Every mode of transportation out of Manhattan was shut down. All the subways were shut. The tunnels were all closed. They closed the bridges. They closed everything immediately.
Boats. usually an afterthought in most New Yorkers' minds, were for the first time in over a century
Is it Tom
the
Hanks?
only way in or out of Lower Manhattan.
It's Tom Hanks, isn't it? Is it?
The process that actually had already started. There were some boats that were grabbing people, that people were lined up at the walls.
On the left, on the left, on the left.
It's just human nature. You see people in distress on the seawall in Manhattan begging you to pick them up. You have to pick them up.
They didn't know what was going on. They seen the building getting hit with these two planes. As far as they was concerned, you know, we were being bombed.
Is there anybody that's in the comments right now that was like that worked around that area or like had shops or anything like that were like affected by this? I love reading through comments and stories, guys, of where you were on this day. So please feel free to share. Obviously, don't if you don't want to share anything, but I'd like to read some things. Whenever you see this, it's crazy. No matter how long passes, it doesn't really get any easier to watch, right?
I was wondering if they were going to come on the boat, if they had people with bombs, or if they were going to come on. We're a big orange target in the middle of that harbor. My job is to keep the boat safe, my passengers safe, my crew safe.
Everybody was in shock, running around. They didn't want to leave their families. They had loved ones running around the city.
Everybody has a baby! Nobody has it!
There was one guy ran from the apron and jumped onto the boat. He grabbed onto the metal, climbed up right next to the pilot. So I'm going out there to say something. He slides down to the next deck. So the deckhands get him and go, what are you doing? He goes, I'm jumping for my life. So, you couldn't argue with him there.
Can't argue with people, yeah. People's instinct is to survive. When you start throwing like rules at people, the survival instinct will just take over every single time. So yeah, I completely understand and respect where he's coming from. Personally, I probably do the same thing. If I was panicking for my life, I would do almost anything to preserve my life. I feel like everybody would do the same, unless it was affecting people that I loved. I'd put people who I loved before me. But in like this instance, where everyone's trying to get onto a boat, I feel like that survival instinct in everyone just kind of takes over, and that's why people panic.
There was a small boat.
I feel like if you're honest with yourself,
Manhattan,
you'd probably do the same.
I thought the boat was going to flip over because so many people were trying to get on. And as I looked behind, they were just 10 deep. And that's kind of what gave us the idea.
We decided that this has to get better organized and we better do it, and that's what we did.
So we decided to make the call on the radio. All available boats. This is the United States Coast Guard aboard the pilot boat in New York. Anyone want to help with the evacuation of Lower Manhattan? Report to Governor's Island.
When that call came on the radio, they were coming.
Oh, I'm so sorry, guys. I'm getting mixed up. Manhattan is not where the Statue of Liberty is, right? Statue of Liberty's on Liberty Island, right? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I understand now. My bad. If I annoyed anyone, my bad.
Who was going to respond? About 15, 20 minutes later, they're just boats all across the horizon.
Wow.
Literally 100 targets converging on the lower part of Manhattan.
Oh my God,
When we
that's
came out of that dust
crazy.
Tugboats. I've never seen so many tugboats all at once.
There was just like a fleet of tugboats headed to Manhattan.
If it floated and it could get there, it got there.
All different size, shapes, and forms. And they were zooming across this water.
Ferries, private boats, party boats.
I worked on the water for 28 years. I've never seen that many boats come together at one time that fast.
Jesus.
One radio call and it just came together just that fast.
That's crazy.
Hundreds of boats converged on the city, leaving the sun-bathed harbor behind them. Dead ahead, the unknown.
That was something I won't forget. It was just low, dark, acrid, black smoke. It's like there was a big chimney in Manhattan. When we pulled into Pier 11, the dust was unbelievable.
And then out of nowhere, you just kept on seeing people coming.
They looked like zombies coming through the fog, and you knew that those were human beings.
Don't leave us. Please don't leave us here. Take us. At that point, the Coast Guard said, not how many people are you allowed, how many people can you fit?
Come on, guys. Anybody coming? Get your ass over here now. Now!
boats started hanging. Literally would take a bed sheet off a bunk and a can of spray paint and paint their destination on.
Some of these people never been in the water, never been on a boat before.
Housewives, workers that do windows. We had executives. And the thing that was the best, everyone helped everyone.
I want you to hold my hand. Come on board.
The way it should be.
One at a time. Okay, get in inside.
I saw 4 businessmen lifting up an old woman with a seeing eye dog, a German Shepherd, and they lifted her up like a surfboard and passed her over the handrails.
When we would carry a load of people over, and there was somebody standing there that seen their husband or wife, you know, that made us feel even better, you know. Well, at least we got 2 back together, you know. Keep on going, you know.
The guy that works at the ferry, he's a welder. His son was on my boat. He actually came up. He thanked me.
We went back and forth all day long, carrying boatloads, as many as our boat would hold.
And 39,000 British and French soldiers were rescued over the course of 9 days. On 9/11, nearly 500,000 civilians were rescued from Manhattan by boat. It took less than 9 hours.
Jesus.
I believe somebody has a little hero in them. You gotta look in. And it's in there. It'll come out. It need to be.
I have one theory in life. I never want to say the word I should have. If I do it and I fail, I tried.
Very good way to
If I
live,
do it
man.
and I succeed, better for me. And I tell my children the same thing. Never go through life saying you should have. If you want to do something, you do it.
Wow. 500,000 people rescued in 9 hours. Jesus. All right, guys. Thank you for telling me to watch this. I absolutely loved this. I absolutely loved this. I seen one of the comments saying there's a couple of videos on the Manhattan, or is it, sorry, the Boston. There was a bomb in Boston that went off. I don't know much about that, so I could check that out if you guys would be interested in seeing that. We could maybe learn something together. This is what this is as well. I kind of want to just kind of educate myself more on these type of topics. So that's why I do it. And obviously there's a way in there that I can interact with you guys as well. The favorite part about doing this is seeing your comments as well, because like I said earlier in the video, so many of you guys told me your stories, and I want to continue to do that because it's what doing YouTube is all about, interacting with an audience. That's my favorite part. So guys, thank you for watching to this point. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you. I just want to touch on something, guys. I seen there was like maybe 2 or 3 comments saying that I curse too much. Yeah, I don't. If I want to curse, I'm just gonna curse. So if that's not your cup of tea, I'm sorry about that. I curse. I'm from Belfast. We curse at breakfast. So if that's not your cup of tea, feel welcome to never come back again. I'm just putting it out there. That's who I am. I'm not going to change who I am just because 2 or 3 people don't like it. It is what it is. You have yourself a good day, ladies and gentlemen. Stay positive. Stay you. Peace.